Welcome back to the topic of these quantum numbers. So first let us study the quantum numbers that is called as the principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. This principal quantum number is indicated with n. This actually indicates the principal energy levels. Principal energy levels that are indicated as orbits in the Bohr's model. So this will indicate the orbits in the Bohr's model. So these can have the values of 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So the principal energy levels that are present in the atom is indicated by the number of the orbits, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting from the inner orbit closer to the nucleus. Suppose I write this as the nucleus. This is the first orbit that is very close to the nucleus is having n is equal to 1. And this we can also call it as K shell. So this is also indicated as K shell. Similarly, second orbit, when n is equal to 2, it is called as the L shell. When n is equal to 3, it is called as the M shell. So like that we continue. So as this number increases, the distance of this orbit particularly from the nucleus goes on increasing. So these n values indicate the principal energy levels, which are also named as the orbits in the Bohr's model. These are the circular paths around the nucleus where electron can be found. The second quantum number is named as the azimuthal quantum number. Azimuthal or subsidiary or orbital quantum number. Orbital quantum number. This is indicated with the small letter L. So this actually indicates azimuthal quantum number or subsidiary or the orbital quantum number. It actually indicates the sub-energy levels that are present in the particular orbit. So this signifies sub-energy levels that are present in the various main energy levels. And also this azimuthal quantum number indicates the shapes of the orbitals. Shapes of orbitals. And this L value can have the values of 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1. When L is equal to 0, it is called as the S subshell. S subshell. When L is equal to 1, it is called as the P subshell. When L is equal to 2, it is called as the D subshell. Similarly, F. As far as the present number of elements that are present in the nature, for writing the configurations of all those elements, only these 4 subshells are sufficient. Okay. So S subshell, P subshell, D subshell and F subshell. If at all anyone is interested in the further, we can continue. After F we will get G. Similarly, G, H, I, J, K, etc. we can continue. But not necessarily required. Only these 4 are required. So it can have the values from 0 up to n minus 1. Suppose I write n is equal to 1. Only one subshell is present, that is S subshell. Suppose n is equal to 1. L is equal to 0. It is called as the S subshell. Similarly, when n is equal to 2, L can have the values of 0 and 1. So it is S subshell as well as P subshell. So in the second energy level, there are 2 sub-energy levels that are available. One is called S, the other one is called P. Similarly, when n is equal to 3, we can have L is equal to 0, 1 and 2. So this is S, this is P, this is D. Like that we can continue. When n is equal to 4, it is up to 0, 1, 2, 3. F subshell. So that is azimuthal or subsidiary or orbital quantum number indicates the sub-energy levels that are present in the main energy level, and it is also indicating the shapes of the orbitals. Those shapes of the orbitals we will consider in the next video. The third quantum number is magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number. This magnetic quantum number is also named as the orientation quantum number. Orientation quantum number. This orientation quantum number indicates the orientation of these various subshells in presence of the magnetic field. We know when we consider that the Stark effect and Zeeman effect, each individual line splits into the different number of lines. That's why there are some sub-energy levels in the sub-energy levels in the various subshells. That is indicated with the magnetic quantum number. This M indicates can have the values from minus L to plus L, including 0. Including 0. Say for example, if N is equal to 1, we know that L can have the values of only 0. So it is actually indicated with the S subshell. M can have only one value, that is 0. 0 is a value. So it is indicating that this S subshell has got only one orientation. And when N is equal to 2, L can have the values of 0 and 1. M can have the values of 0 for this one, and minus 1, 0 and plus 1 for the L is equal to 1. So this indicates one orientation for the S subshell, and P subshell is having 3 orientations. 3 orientations. Similarly, when N is equal to 2, N is equal to 3, L can have the values of 0, 1 and 2. This is S, this is P, this is D. So for this S subshell, M can have the values of only 0. It is one orientation. For this P orbital, there are minus 1, 0 and plus 1, that is 3 orientations. For this D, it is minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. That is, totally there are 5 orientations. And similarly, when N is equal to 4, L can have the values of 0, 1, 2, 3. For this one orientation, that is only 0, minus 1, 0, plus 1 for this P, minus 2 to plus 2 including 0, 5. This is 3, this is 5, and this is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2 and plus 3. Totally there are 7 orientations possible. So we can calculate the number of orientations of each of the subshells in presence of the magnetic field. When we consider the magnetic field, each of our subshell will split into the various subshells, or will orient in the different directions. How many orientations possible we can calculate by using these M values. Similarly, for N is equal to 5, we can calculate L is equal to up to 4. But that is not needed as far as the present number of elements are concerned. So we can have this number of orientations possible. And by using this N, L and M values, total number of electrons we can calculate. Total number of electrons is equal to 2n square. For example, in the first orbit, n is equal to 1. First energy level, principal quantum number n. N is equal to 1, therefore we have only 2 electrons. In the second energy level, we have 2 square, 4 into 2, that is 8. 2 electrons in the S and 6 electrons in the P. So, like that we can calculate. The number of orientations can be calculated. Number of orientations can be calculated by using this 2 into 2L plus 1, where L is equal to azimuthal quantum number. Just calculate L is equal to 0 for the S subshell. So 0 plus 1, so it is 2. So for the S subshell, there are only 2 electrons, number of electrons. Number of orientations is 2l plus 1. For the P subshell, there are 2l plus 1, that is 2 into 1 plus 1, that is 3 orientations. Therefore, number of electrons can be calculated as 2 into 2l plus 1. Each orientation can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. That's why we are having this 2n square, total number of electrons. Number of orientations 2l plus 1. Number of electrons again can be calculated as 2 into 2l plus 1. For the P subshell, L is equal to 1. Therefore, P orbital can accommodate maximum of 6 electrons. This is number of electrons in each subshell. That is 2 into 2l plus 1. So this is about the 3 quantum numbers which are related to one another. The last one I told you, it is a spin quantum number which indicates the spinning of the electron around its own axis, which is indicated by small s. So s can have the values of either plus half or minus half. That is, this is indicated with the upward arrow and this is indicated with the downward arrow. So by using all these 4 quantum numbers, we can locate the probable position of the electron in the particular atom. So the use of these 4 quantum numbers is to locate the possible position or probable position of the electron in the particular orbital. So in the next video we will see the shapes of the orbitals or subshells S, P, D and F. S only 1 orientation, P 3 orientations, D 5 orientations and F 7 orientations. So the number of electrons in each of these one will be, in the S we have only 2. In the P, if you substitute L is equal to 1. 1 into 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 into 2, 6. Therefore, P or P subshell can accommodate 6 electrons. D subshell can accommodate 2 into D, L value is equal to 2, 2 into 2, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 into 2, 10. So 10 electrons can be accommodated in the D subshell. Similarly, 14 electrons can be accommodated in the F subshell. So like that we can calculate the number of electrons, the probable positions of the electrons in the various subshells. That we can continue in the next video. Thank you.